No, 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 no.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sundiata Ferguson out of Dallas, Texas. Want to welcome each and every one of y'all into this week's edition of our Monday Mastermind Call. So if you're already on the line, but you haven't already done so, please state your name and where you're calling in from.
Alonda is here from Delaware.
Welcome, Delaware. Welcome, welcome. Who else we got out here on the line? We're a few minutes early, so go ahead and announce yourself and get yourself situated for what will be an exciting call this evening. Who else do we got on the line? All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you find yourself in a quiet spot. Go ahead and send out any last minute text messages to your organization. Make sure you have paper, make sure you have pen, because I promise you, the road to happiness is going to be paved with rubies, and you want to grab every bit of information you're going to hear this evening. So if you're on the line but you haven't already done so, please state your name and where you're calling in from. If you haven't already done so, you can actually unmute at this time and state your name and where you're calling in from.
Jimmy calling in from VA.
Welcome, 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 welcome to the broadcast. Super excited to have you on. Who else we got on the line here? All right, make sure you send it out in those last minute text messages because you definitely want to make sure that your organization hears every single piece of the information that is going to be shared tonight. My name is Sundiata Ferguson, Emerald Leader here out of now officially Grand Prairie, Texas. I want to welcome y'all onto the broadcast. So if you haven't already done so, please state your name and where you're calling in from.
Stephanie Allen, Baytown, Texas.
Ah, there she is, the Diamond Diva. Welcome, welcome, Miss Allen. Great to have you on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing guest on here tonight, so you want to make sure that you grab those cell phones and send out last-minute text messages, inboxes, WhatsApp messages, so that your team members do not miss 1 second of the information that will be shared tonight. I promise you it's going to be worth every second of it. But if you haven't already done so, go ahead and unmute and state your name and where you're calling in from tonight. See more and more folks join the broadcast. Let us know where you're calling in from, ladies and gentlemen.
Coach Juarez and Vivian White, Rocheron, Texas.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Super couple on the line. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have y'all on. Who else we got out there? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Unmute your line. Bring the excitement. Trust me. Now, our speaker told me that if y'all don't come with the excitement, he's not going to talk tonight. So I need y'all to be amped up. I need y'all to be on fire. I need y'all to unmute and tell us where you're calling in from tonight, because I want to get this information. Make sure you grab your pen and paper and have it handy, because you definitely want to make sure you take some copious notes. Who else we got on the line? Unmute and let us know where you're calling in from.
Chantel from New Jersey.
Welcome, New Jersey in the building. Welcome, welcome. Who else we got on the line? Tell us where you're calling in from. Let him hear you. Let our speaker hear you tonight.
Hi, everybody. This is Dori. I'm calling from Maui, Hawaii.
Hawaii in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else we got on?
Hawaii.
Welcome. Who else we got joining us? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Our speaker said if he don't hear the excitement, he ain't talking tonight. We need this information. We need it. Who else we got on the line? Just unmute and state your name and where you're calling in from.
Yolanda Cooks from Columbus, Ohio.
Ohio in the building. Welcome, welcome. Who else we got on the line? We got about 30 more seconds, so I need y'all to bring it. Just unmute and tell me where you're calling in from.
Celeste Brown from Yuba City, California.
California, welcome, welcome. Who else we got out there? Come on, let's hear it, let's hear it. We got about 20 more seconds. Let's hear where you're calling in from, ladies and gentlemen. We're acting shy tonight. Y'all don't want our speaker to talk. Come on now, I need y'all to bring the excitement. Tell me where you're calling in from.
Hey guys, I'm Polly. I'm tuning in from Denver.
Denver in the house. Welcome. Who else we got? I heard somebody else chiming in.
Barbara Brown from Maui, Hawaii.
Hawaii is in the building tonight. Welcome, welcome. All right, 10 more seconds, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to get this show on the road. Who else we got just joining us? State your name and where you're calling in from.
Hey, Carissa, New Jersey. Good evening.
Hey, welcome, New Jersey. Glad to have you on. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show rocking and rolling. My name is Sundiata Ferguson, Emerald Leader here out of Grand Prairie. Fired up and excited to be on with y'all tonight for this edition of our Mastermind call. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the honor of being the speaker, but I do have the pleasure to introduce a young man that not only do I call a business partner, not only do I call a mentor, but I call a brother. And okay, there we go. I call this young man a brother because 2 years ago, he gave me a phone call that literally saved my life, ladies and gentlemen. He had no idea what was happening with me, the struggles I was enduring, and he made that phone call. And then today, 2 years later, my wife and I, we've built an amazing Emerald organization, and there's still so much more to come. This gentleman has built countless organizations, multiple tens of thousands across the globe. For those of you that are new, I'm actually going to be introducing him and presenting to others. But this gentleman, you know, he not only has he built organizations across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, he has mentored individuals to six-figure incomes, even including himself earning seven figures by the age of 30. Now, think about that for a second. If you're brand new to the line, just write that down. Seven-figure income earner by the age of 30 and mentoring others to six figures. You definitely don't want to miss what this gentleman has to say. But ladies and gentlemen, I know for a fact that his greatest accomplishment, despite all the organizations he's built, despite all the success he's enjoyed, is being the husband to the amazing Mrs. Portia Wilkins, who is a superstar in her own right, and being the father of the young, beautiful Princess Chandler, and now, of course, our nephew, Prince Aiden, in the building. So without further ado, let me bring to the line my brother, my friend, business partner, Mr. Jared Wilkins. Are you on the line, sir?
Of course, where else would I be on a Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time? How are you, sir?
I am blessed, my brother. Take it away.
Well, it's always good to see you and hear from you. So excited about you and your wife's progress in this business. You know, it's amazing what a phone call can do as it relates to, as it relates to our life. I always tell people you're one person away from prosperity or poverty, and you are an example of someone that is prospering. And a lot of times I think, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about prospering, or we hear the term prospering, and obviously we associate that to just financial or finances. And that's one area of prospering. But, I learned a long time ago that word prosper means in the flow. How many of you want to be in the flow of life? I mean, you want to be in your rhythm of how you're supposed to be functioning in life. That's what prosperity means. Sunya, I'm gonna bring you back on a second here because I want you to talk about your experience with the products, because one of the things that I know for a fact that people want to know and want to hear and hear over and over again, because we all know that faith comes by hearing. So for those of us that are in the business, for those of us that have just gotten started, maybe getting re-engaged, maybe you've been in the business for a while and you're starting to feel lethargic when it comes to your belief, a lot of times what has to happen is you have to build your faith, that faith, finding answers in the heart. And one of the things that I love doing is hearing stories that build my faith from a standpoint of the business side of what we're doing and also the product side of what we're doing. And I know Sunyana has an incredible story that always builds my faith when I hear it. And so I want to bring you on, Mr. Sunyana Ferguson. I want you to talk about that for those people that have never heard your story. They don't know how you were introduced or why you said yes, or why you guys are still, you and your wife are still, really not only building this business, but building people's lives through introducing these amazing products. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Take a few moments here, talk to everybody about your story, how you were introduced to the company, but more importantly, what these products have meant for you in your life before we get started tonight. I'll turn it over to you. Oh, I've got to unmute you. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Wilkins. As always, thank you for allowing me to share my story. Ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and over 24 years ago, I was in a very horrible vehicular accident and suffered a brain injury. From that point onwards, I've lived with migraines, I've lived with chronic headaches and pain, et cetera. And 2 years ago, I started suffering with epilepsy. Now, again, we make no medical claims, but I will tell you this, it had gotten so bad that I had ultimately decided that the only way out or past this situation was through the door of suicide. And what's powerful about what happened is that the day that I made the decision, and I was actually laying out the plan, Mr. Wilkins called me. I remember it because it was like around 11:30, right, in the morning. And he called me and he said, "Hey, Sundiata, I found it. I believe we have our hands on something that will help you." Now, here's the thing. My wife and I, we trust and respect Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins very much. So we said yes. We didn't necessarily know what was happening, but it just so happened that my wife had been researching the keto lifestyle to see if it would help. And that was the first product we started with, the keto coffee, or the diamond nectar, as Mr. Wilkins would call it. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. Within 24 hours of my first cup of keto coffee, a couple of things happened. One, no headache, no migraine for the first time. Imagine if you were living with headaches every single day for 20 plus years, right? That was the first thing we noticed. No headaches, no migraine. The second thing we noticed was that I had recovered from a seizure that I had previously much faster than I normally did. Okay, I actually recovered. I was out the next day, having consumed that first cup of coffee with my wife. I was my energy level was up. There was no pain, none of that. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, that from that point onwards, I've continued to improve. In fact, I'm no longer on any seizure medications. I just use our products and a couple other supplements. And here's what I want to say to this before I turn it back over to Mr. Wilkins. That one phone call that Mr. Wilkins made to me has now resulted in 6 other people that I know personally that have reached out and said, because they heard my story, they've decided not to take their own lives. Again, don't take for granted making that phone call. Don't take for granted reaching out, how important it is. Again, Mr. Wilkins had no clue what was going on, but he did what we always say, reach out, put them on your list, and give them a call and let them know what's happening. So thanks again, Mr. Wilkins, not only for that phone call, but also for allowing me to share tonight. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Man, thank you so much for sharing that. And it always does something to me. It reminds me of the reason why we do this business, because a lot of times we can get into the routine of it, right? And making money and, promoting and qualifying for bonuses and all of those wonderful things, are just having fun. It's a fun-based business. But, one of the things I'll tell you, man, is the significance behind what we do and the lives that we get to impact. That's what makes this different. That's what makes it works different. That's what makes the direct sales and the network marketing profession different. For all of you that are just tuning in and joining, I want y'all to do me a favor tonight. For those of you that do believe in prayer, I need y'all to send up and lift up in your prayers Mr. Mike Patello. He sent me a message that he was feeling really, really bad today, very, very sick, and unfortunately is not going to be able to join us tonight. But he will be joining us next week, Monday, for our mastermind session. He definitely sends his apologies for not being able to make it, but he said he's just feeling sick as a dog, just been down all day, and was trying to push it even to the last moment. And texting with him, he says, bro, I can't muster up the strength to do it. So for those of you that do believe in prayer, and you do believe prayer changes things, and you believe prayer indeed does work, please send up a prayer for Mike Patillo and everybody that's dealing with any type of ailment that we need God to touch them. So please do that. I want to talk about this tonight. Tonight's not going to be a very long call because I had 21 different questions. I was on my 50 cent vibe tonight. I had 21 different questions for Mr. Mike Patillo tonight, but we will hold those for next week. And so next week, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, obviously we'll be back on for our Monday Mastermind with corporate. I want you guys to hear from the top of the company. I want you to hear from the people that are running the show. I mean, the thing that I fell in love with when it came to It Works was not just the company, but really the people behind the company. And one of the things that I will tell every single one of you as a leader is, and I think a lot of times we get maybe the word leader misconstrued. We think leadership is a noun, or we think the word leader is a noun, meaning it defines a person, place, or thing. But I want to submit to you that leader, the word leader, is not a noun. It's actually a verb. Would you write that down, please? Leadership, the word leader, it's a verb. The root word of leader or leadership is the word lead, to lead. It means to be in action, to be doing something. It is a verb. And so when you dialed into this line, that was an action. When you pulled up your on your app, the Zoom ID or whatever it was, that was a verb. That means you are leading. John C. Maxwell said in his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, he says, a leader of one, Miss Lopez, is a leader of many. If you cannot lead one, you cannot lead any, Tony. Right? He says a leader of one is a leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. And a lot of times in our business, we have to learn and also have to relearn, and some of us have to unlearn watch this, how to lead ourselves. You know, Instagram, how many of you on Instagram? You're on Instagram. Instagram and Facebook, they've got a new feature coming out in the next 24 hours. It's a new update. How many of you saw or got the message? There's a new update happening on Instagram and Facebook. Here's the deal. Instagram and Facebook are multi-billion-dollar companies, conglomerates, owned by the same person, Mark Zuckerberg, right? And if you notice, every so often, it seems to be every 3 to 6 months, there's a new what? Update. And if you're paying attention, a lot of times, some of us, if we're honest, we don't like the update at first. How many know what I'm talking about? It's something new. I've got to look at this. It's a new feature or whatever it is. But they consistently are updating their platform. They're consistently updating their technology. He's consistently updating what he's doing to not only attract, but to also retain people. And my question for you, when was the last time you updated yourself? When was the last time we updated our software? When was the last time you updated, here it is, your belief? One of the reasons why I love having corporate on is so that we can glean and lean into their belief. We had a VIP call today, all the triples and above, with Mr. Mark Pentecost and Miss Cammie Pentecost. And they were talking about what the company has done and, more importantly, where we're going. We were talking about, making sure for the international conference that's happening, you don't watch conference alone. We have watch parties that are going on. You want to have, 2, 3, 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a location, whether it's at your home or whatever it is, to be in that synergy, to be watching it together. And I was listening to them, and I'm not only paying attention and taking notes on the VIP call, but something hit me as I was getting that information. How many of you are excited about conference? Some things that are going to be announced. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And one of the things that I would recommend is don't watch it alone. You want to have a watch party. I remember years ago, there used to be a show that used to come on called Scandal. How many of y'all remember Scandal? By show, how many of you used to watch Scandal? I see some of you used to watch Power and Grey's Anatomy and all. There was nothing like Scandal Thursday night. There was nothing like it. There was a unique energy about Scandal, whereas people would all over the country, all over the world, they would be tuned in. We would put up posts on social media. Don't call me from 8 to 9 or from 7 to 8, whatever the time slot was, because I'm gonna be watching what? Scandal. They would budget. It was a community. You would go to the page on Facebook. They had their own community of gladiators. That's what they called themselves. How many of you know what I'm talking about, right? They called themselves gladiators, right? Gladiators in suits. And they had this culture, this community of people that all bought into wanting to tune in every single Thursday night to watch a 1-hour show. My question for you is, what type of energy are you creating? Are you galvanizing to watch the international conference coming up? Remember last week, we talked a little bit, we talked about the law of the mind last week. And we talked about this month here, the month of October. The month of October was going to be the setup month, not for November and December. Those are going to take care of themselves. But Rocktober, how you started it, how you continued it, and how you ended in October was going to set you up for the first quarter of 2021. How many of you remember me talking about that, right? Okay. I want you to write this down. Put this in the chat. A setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. A setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. And I'm giving you these things because I want you to be prepared. I want you to be prepared for some of the things that I know are going to be announced at conference. That's why I have Mr. Mike Patillo getting on. We obviously were supposed to have him on tonight, but definitely send up your prayers for him. We're going to have him on on next week, Monday, where I got my 21 questions for them. Okay, because I want you to be totally dialed in to setting yourself up for an incredible 2021. Now, I want to highlight a couple things. I told you tonight's call is not going to be very, very long, but I would not rob you of the opportunity to hear a couple of things that I know can make a huge difference for you in the month of October. There are really 3 seasons in life in this business cycle. There are 3 seasons. There are 3 different lands, 2 seasons, 3 lands. Write it down. There are 2 seasons and 3 lands. Yeah. There's the land, write this down, please put it in the comments. There's the land of not enough. There's the land of what? Come on, where's my engagement? Where's my, there's a land of not enough, not enough, not enough. 3 lands, 2 seasons. And I want to cover this real quickly because I believe tonight's call is really going to set us up for next week, Monday, to hear from corporate. And we may mess around and double up on y'all. We may have Mike Patillo and somebody else from corporate, but nonetheless, I know we'll have Mr. Mike Patillo. Okay. The land of not enough. The land of not enough suggests exactly what it says. It's not enough money coming in through my business to be full-time. There's not enough money coming in through my business to take care of all my bills on a 1 payment plan. The land of not enough is I don't have enough volume to be promoted. The land of not enough is I don't have enough structure. I don't have enough of the right structure to promote to my next level. The land of not enough is a land that every single person, listen to me, will decide to either visit or reside. Are you listening? The land of not enough. You will either decide to visit that land or reside in it. And the decision is up to you. 3 lands, 2 seasons. The second land is the land of, write it down, please, just enough. Coach Juarez, I don't know if you've ever been there, the land of just enough. I have just enough volume to promote. I've got just enough of the right structure to hit this next goal. I made just enough money to pay this. I made just enough, I have just enough volume to accomplish this. The land of just enough. And you will visit that land or decide to reside in that land in your business. Just enough. I mean, you skate on in by the neck, by the chinny chin chin. You hit the goal the last day of the month, and there's nothing wrong with that. I call it pushing through. For those of you that have had a baby, you know how it is when you're in that waiting room. There's a lot of preemptive work that needs to take place. There's a process you've gone through. But at the end of the day, when you get on that table, you are told to do what? Push. Let me give you an acronym for push before I talk about the third lane. P-U-S-H. Positive until success happens. Push. Positive until success happens. Push. Prospect until success happens. Push. Pray until success happens. Push. It doesn't matter who's beside you on the operating table. It is only you and you alone that has the capability and the ability to what? Push. I discovered that you have to learn how to push. How many know what I'm talking about? You have to learn how to push. It's not innate. You may push the wrong way. You got to learn how to push, and they will coach you. They'll teach you on what to do and how to push so you can deliver and birth your new season. So there's the land of not enough. There's the land of just enough. And then there's the third land of more than enough. I don't see y'all on the screen. Everybody's blanked out. I see some of y'all on video. Hey, Janet, I see you, Sally. I see you, Carly, in the car. Jacqueline, I see you. You're dialed in. Carissa, I see you. Stephanie Allen, I see you. Sunyata, I see you on there. Rhonda, oh yeah, I see you, Rhonda. Somebody said, okay, I see you, Carissa. You said you were taking notes. Take those notes. I'm with you. But I need to see you. Why do I need to see you? Because some of us want to be outstanding, but we're so afraid to stand out. Tracy Fisher, I see you in the house. Les Brown said, it's better to be seen than it is to be viewed. You got to show up for success. Success is not a process, it's a what? Let me see if y'all were paying attention in class. Success is not a process, it's a what? All right, I see you in the chats, okay? So three different lands. The land of not enough, the land of just enough, and the land of more than enough. Y'all with me? We're talking about Rocktober this month. We're talking about, I like it, success is a formula. We're talking about rocking out this month here in the month of October. And we've got so much time left. I was talking with some leaders the other day, getting their numbers, getting their charts, getting their goals, asking them where they were. Some of them thought they were far off. I'm like, no. You are in the land of just enough, but you've got to push to get to the land of more than enough. More than enough is when you requalified your current position halfway through the month. Come on. How many of you would like to requalify your highest level of ranking right now, requalify that by the first week of the month? See, that's when you start getting into the land of more than enough. Here's the deal. You got to recognize where you are in your business. You got to recognize where you are. And there's nothing wrong with where we are, because wherever we are, at some point or another, we have made the appointment to be there. Shucks. No matter where we are in life, at some point or another, we make the appointment to be there. You make the appointment to be here tonight. You make the appointment wherever your business is, whether you're in the land of just not enough, the land of just enough, or the land of more than enough. You make that appointment to be there. And when I take ownership for where I am in my business, nothing and no one can stop me from getting to my next level. I do not depend on this person or that person. What he says or she says, what he does or she does cannot stop you from getting to the next land, because you made the appointment to be there. It's just like casting your ballots to vote. Nobody can vote for you. Are you listening to me? You got to decide. With all of the technology that we have, I mean, how many of us, we've got a cell phone, you can't even they can't unlock your phone without your fingerprint. If you got an iPhone now, if you got an Android, I don't know what y'all are doing on the on the Android, but technology has been so robust, it's changed. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, a long time ago, we used to tell each other that one day we'll be able to make a phone call and see one another. How many of you remember we used to have phone call conversations like that? We used to talk like one day we'll be able to do video chats and now technology's changed and all of that is available. And with all of the technology that has changed, in order for you to vote, you've got to leave the comfort of your technology and your home and use your hands to punch a button. You got to mail in the ballot, or you got to go to the voting box. You got to do that. So it is in the business. Brandon Foster, I see you in the house, sir. Triple Diamond in the house. You have to show up and vote your way out of each land. You got to show up and cast your ballot out of each land. So the reason why I'm saying this to you is I don't want you to be so concerned or so worried about how is it going to happen, who's going to do it. No. It's already done. You just got to show up. I told you 3 lands, 2 seasons. You're either, write this down, please, and we're almost done. You're either in the sowing season or the harvest season. We're either in our sowing season or our harvest season. The harvest is what the farmer keeps. Are you listening to me? The harvest is what the farmer keeps. So a farmer, you are a farmer, they know there's a season to sow. Write this down. A seed of nothing produces a season of nothing. A seed of nothing produces a season of nothing. So a farmer never shows up without sowing a seed and expects a season of a harvest. You cannot sow corn seeds and expect an apple harvest. Are you listening to me? And so in the month of October, depending on what land you're in, will determine what season you embrace. Am I in my seed season, or is this my harvest season? If what I have is not what I want to keep, then what I have is not my harvest, it's my seed. Are you listening to me tonight? If what I have in my hands, in my bank account, if that's not what I want, then what I have is a seed to sow. Let me cover a couple of things. A seed is a beginning. Write it down, please. We're almost done. We're not going to be here in an hour today. We got to go. Tonight I had 21 questions from Mr. Mike Patillo. 21 of them. We were going to be on here. So send your prayers up for him. I know some of you are just joining us. He wasn't able to join us tonight. Please send your prayers up for Mr. Mike Patillo. He's given me his word that he will be on next week, Monday. So we're going to hear from corporate next week, Monday. In the interim between this week and next week, tonight I want you to decide what season am I in? Is this my seed season? Or is this my harvest season? A seed is a beginning. This is the law of the seed. Mike Murdoch, I'm still in that book, The 7 Laws You Must Honor to Have Uncommon Success. He says a seed is a beginning. Write this down. Words, oh, this is good. Words are the seeds for feelings. I never thought about it that way. You can stay up, Brandon, all week long and not think of it that way. Words. Miss Mabel, words are the seed for feelings. What a person says to you, how they address you makes you feel a certain way, right? The words that you say, the words that you hear make you feel a certain thing, right? When somebody edifies you, when somebody speaks highly of you, when somebody says the right thing about you, the right thing to you, it makes you feel a certain way. Now watch this. What words have you been saying to yourself? Shucks. Maybe that's why you feel the way you feel about your business. What word are we speaking empowering words to ourselves or disempowering words? Because you talk to yourself more often than anybody else does. It's called self-talk. How many know you talk to yourselves by show of hands, right? Some of you are like, no, I don't know if I talk. That's the one. That's the one, okay? So he says, words are the seeds for feelings. Mercy is the seed for change. Mercy is the seed for change. I won't go so deep into that. But these are just some things I want to give you for the month of October, for this week here, because I want you to identify what season am I in. If I can identify what season am I in, it will determine what actions I consistently take. He says, honor is the seed for access. Shucks. Honor is the seed for access. Honor. What is honor? Honor is respect. Anybody ever been to a courtroom? You've been in the court. I didn't say it was for, it could be traffic tickets. They had the wrong one. It wasn't me. You ever been to a courtroom? Have you noticed It doesn't matter what your nationality is. It doesn't matter what your spiritual beliefs is, your political affiliations are. Doesn't matter if you woke up on the right side of the bed or the wrong side of the bed. Doesn't matter what keto coffee you had or if you had skinny brew. It doesn't matter what your rank is or title is. When you walk into a courtroom, everybody is treated equally and nobody ever approaches the judge until directed to. Matter of fact, oftentimes when you go into a courtroom, you're on the docket, the 8 o'clock docket, 9 o'clock. I've had some experience in the courtroom. I used to have a Camaro, and they would catch me every day in that Camaro. I'll be just blasting it. But when you go into the courtroom, oftentimes the judge is not even in the courtroom yet. How many know what I'm talking about, right? How many of you seen that? The judge's not even in the courtroom, but everybody's gathered, and when the judge enters the courtroom, the bailiff makes an announcement. What do they say? Come on, put it in the comments. What's the bailiff say? Come on, Carissa. What's the bailiff say? The bailiff says what? If you feel like it, rise. Oh, no, that ain't what the bailiff says. If you're a woman, rise. No. If you're a ruby, rise. If you're an no, it doesn't say that. Okay. If you feel good today, no. The bailiff says what? All rise. Well, I don't like this judge. I ain't finna. No, sir. Everybody rises out of the sign of respect. You rise to the occasion, for the occasion, as a sign of what? Respect. That's honor. How do you rise for your business? How you rise for your business tells us how much you respect it. I won't rise today. I ain't rising today. I ain't posting today. I'm not promoting today. I'm not. You don't want to hear the truth tonight. But all rise. It is an edict. It is not a suggestion. It is a command to rise. Then the judge comes in, he or she is called Your Honor. The judge sits down, and after the judge sits down, you may be seated. And my question for you is, who have you honored? Who are you honoring in the business? Because honor is the seed for access. Some of us are attempting to access different echelons of people. You're attempting to access different wealth environments. You're attempting to access different places that you haven't been to and different people you haven't been around yet. But my question is, how do you honor where you are? Honor is the seed for access. Sometimes your education, your charisma, your degrees, your pedigree, all of that won't get you into the land of more than enough. Only honor is the bridge into it. Shucks. Some of us, we are working hard. Oh, you're working harder than the sun. And you're having to work so hard, maybe because your honor is not high enough. When you approach the judge, you have your attorney or what have you, they call you have you noticed you never call the judge, watch this, you never, Tony, Rhonda, you never address the judge by their first name. Janet, we never call the judge, Morgan, Carmen, we never, Nia, called the judge, Brandon, by their first name. What do you call the judge? Your what? And watch this. It hadn't changed. The truth never changes. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much influence you have. There's certain truth, there's certain laws that you don't change, they change you. Then finally, gratitude is the seed for more. We're done. I've got more, but I don't want to go any further. I was ready for my 21 questions tonight, so we're gonna get those done on Monday. Because I want to set us up for an incredible 2021. And we're gonna set it up for October. Gratitude is the seed for more. How do I get from the land of not enough to the land of just enough to the ultimate land of more than enough? Gratitude. I'm talking about sincere gratitude. Are you listening to me? I'm talking about a gratitude. I'm grateful for my sponsor. Yeah, my sponsor is responsible for me being here. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the owners and the executive team. I'm grateful for shipping. I ain't got to ship nothing. I'm grateful for IT and the technology that they use for our technology. I'm grateful for the mentorship. I'm grateful for the leadership. I'm grateful. Gratitude is the seed for more. See, when I don't have the gratitude, I can get stuck in a season. Are you listening to me? When I don't have and exhibit true gratitude, I can get stuck in a season. Gratitude is the seed for more. So we talked about this year. You heard Mr. Mark Pentecost talking about this is the year of more. This is the year of more. How do I get more? I'm grateful. I'm grateful for whatever land I'm in. I'm grateful. I'm not content. I'm not saying I'm going to stay here, but I'm at least grateful that I've gotten here. There's some people that have not even gotten where I am. There's some people that are dying to become star achievers. There's some people that are dying to become executives. They're dying to become rubies and emeralds and diamonds and doubles and triples and presidentials and ambassadors and doubles. And they want to get there. And there you are. Here you are. There's some people right now. Had a guy, a friend of my brother's come in today and help us move some furniture around. And what's your cash up? And I said, he's like, man, you have no idea. We hadn't even been able to make any money because our jobs, they've laid us off. He was so grateful for something that I considered as a tip. Gratitude. The fact that you can breathe, I can breathe, we can breathe without needing an oxygen tank. Shucks. The fact that we can see each other on the screen. Now we haven't been able to hug and embrace and all that, social distancing, pandemic, all that, I understand. But at least we can log in. Some people can't even log in because there's no Wi-Fi. They don't have money for Wi-Fi. And here you are, you figured out a way to log in. Or as the young millennials say, tap, tap, tap in. Now all my baby boomers like, what's that mean? Tap in, just log in, that's all. But October, here's my takeaways. Here's my takeaways for you. This week here, starting tonight. What have you failed to do that you can do? Hey, listen, there's some things that you can't do. I understand. There's some things that you can't do right now. Like, oh, well, I can do all things. Yeah, I can do all things through Christ. But there's some things that I can't, like some of you right now, you cannot go lift 400 pounds on the bench press. Like right now, present. You can't go lift 400 pounds on it. But that shouldn't stop you from going to the gym. What can I lift? What weight can I lift starting tonight? Who can I message on the team? Who can I message about the products? Who can I message? So takeaway number one, I want you to reach out to at least 5 people within the next 24 hours about your product and about your business. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you went live? So you can do that. Your seed. Oh my gosh, I want to give this part to you. Let me give this part to you. Can I give you? I know we're done. The law of the seed. Here's a reminder, write this down, don't forget this. The law, this is for all of us that, well, you know, I don't know, I don't have to. Here it is. The law of the seed simply means something you have been given will create anything else you have been promised. The law of the seed simply means something you have been given will create anything else you've been promised. If that's not a word, you missed it all tonight. You already have the seed. See, the beautiful thing about the seed is you already have it. Inventory your seed instead of your needs. Never study what's missing in your life, study what you already possess. So one of the takeaways I give you as well, when's the next time you're going live? It's time to sow. It's time to sow. It's time to sow. Words are seed, right? It's time to sow. Tell us, hey, all those stock photos that you're putting up, all those stock videos you're putting up, no, stop that. We want to hear from you. We want to see you. That you're the seed. You're seed. They need to see you. Well, I don't know, girl. Wash your face. Put on some. Yeah, come on. Tie the head. Whatever you. Come on. We need to see you. You're seed. October is going to be absolutely incredible. We're on the 19th. This is the 19th. We got a lot of time. We got 12 days. Now, I promise you, on the 31st, it ain't going to be no trick. It's going to be a treat. All right? It's going to be a treat on the 31st. What I want you to do this week here is sow. This is sowing season. Remember, the harvest is what you keep. I want your volume. Shucks. I want your monthly volume to be your weekly paycheck. I want your monthly, what you're doing volume-wise, monthly, right? That's about to turn into your weekly paycheck. But I need you this week. This week we're sowing. This is sowing season. What are we sowing? We're sowing with our words. We're sowing with showing up. We're sowing this week. Sowing into your future. The seed that leaves your hand, it never leaves your life. It goes into your future where it is multiplied. This is the week that we're sowing. So appreciate each and every one of you for being on tonight. I told you it won't be that long tonight. On Monday, on the 26th, Mr. Mike Patillo will be joining us. We got 21 questions. Some of you that have questions, be sure to bring your questions. Hopefully we get through all of them. We got 21 questions for corporate. Mr. Mike Patillo, our Chief Sales Officer, next week. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Thank each and every one of you for being on. Let's go sow this week. God bless you. God bless your families. And God most certainly bless your dreams. Good night, everybody.